What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's video. As you can see, we're not at the trading desk, but we're gonna get there. I know that most of you are here to see the recap of the GBP USD trade that I took last night. That was the first trade back for me from being sick, first trade of the week, and it was a really awesome short position, and it was a really easy to manage trade. So I'm gonna break all that down later in today's video. But first, we just pulled up to the barbershop. I'm going in to see Wally because I look like a caveman. I need to get my hair fixed. And then I'm gonna hit the gym. I haven't been to the gym all week. I'm not sure if I'm gonna lift weights today. I don't think so. I'm trying to just give my lungs a little bit more of a break since that sinus infection kind of kicked my ass. But I'm definitely gonna go hit the sauna and the steam room and the hot tub just to relax and let my body recover a little bit better. So we'll get into the recap later. Let's go get this haircut. I appreciate you guys being here. Just trying to change it up a little bit, be a little bit more creative with the videos, combine the entertainment with the value to hopefully help you guys make more money. So welcome if you're new. My name's Austin. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll be back after I get my haircut. It's Friday, so everybody's got their nice cars out. I just passed a Lambo. I just passed Rolls-Royce Cullinan, the truck, and a Bentley Continental GT convertible, which that one's my favorite out of all three. And then there's just freaking me and my Kia rental with cloth seats. And I'm like hoping I get my Tesla back from the shop this week. The guy, I talked to him yesterday, he said they had to order a few more parts to fix it. Hopefully it comes back this week. He didn't want to make me any promises, but I have a feeling I'm gonna get it back by the end of the week. So do me a favor, fingers crossed. If you watch this far into the video, comment Tesla down below. Hopefully we get the Tesla back for the next video. So two things before we get into the charts. First, I got to apologize about the coloring on some of those clips in the first sequence of today's video. I had a setting turned on for filming on my iPhone, HDR mode, and when I put the HDR clips into Final Cut, it freaked out and blew out the color. I kind of fixed it as you saw, but it wasn't that great. But going forward, it's going to be much better, so I apologize. Second thing, I posted a poll, I'll show you right here. I posted this poll on Twitter this morning, trying to get some feedback, and then I shared it to Instagram. But I want to know for my YouTube audience as well, what would you rather me do? I want to make more videos that touch on some of the fun and interesting statistics that I find on Twitter and on the articles that I read each week. I want to share them with you guys because I think they could really be valuable to you. They're not always trading related though. And every time I try to post these non-trading related videos about other topics that I'm interested in, whether it's statistics, economics, the aliens, whatever it may be, they never do as good as my trade recaps when it comes to viewership and engagement on this channel. So I want to know, would you be interested in me still pursuing that on this channel? Or would you rather, if you're interested, have me do it on a different channel and have to subscribe to just a regular Austin Silver channel? And we'll keep it ASFX here. We'll keep it trading related. But just comment below, 2 channels or 1 channel. What do you guys think? What would be easier for you to consume the content from me? Whether you want to hear the other stuff or not. I need to really see on Twitter, on Instagram, and then hear from you guys what everybody's looking for so I can bring the information to you and deliver it to you in the best format possible. So I really appreciate if you take 2 seconds and drop a comment down below. That's all I'm going to ask for from you in today's video. And now I'm going to give you some value in this trade recap. So first, we're going to look at GBP USD. This was the position I took last night, held it overnight, closed it this morning when I woke up at about 6 a.m., and it fell much further. I should have held a piece of it, but I didn't. I was just grateful to catch the move overnight, grateful to have the first win of the week, grateful to come back from being sick with a win. So I took my profit and was ready to move on. Either way, we're going to go into this here. So first, you can see there were 2 positions. I split my risk between 2 entries, 1.3941 and 1.3948. And you can see I closed all of it very, very close to it. Like my exit was 0.05, 0.55, 0.8. So all within 3 pips, I was out of this trade. You can see when we flip over to the chart where I took the entry as it broke through the 50 EMA yesterday, right at about 10 a.m. I might have been 15 minutes late. Somewhere around here is where I was in on the trade. And I held the trade overnight as it fell into profit for me, and I closed it this morning, Friday morning. Here, this is not an A1 entry. This is not a D1 entry or a D2 entry. What this is a combination of D2 and structure, market structure, basic lower highs. That's as simple as it is. And I'm going to show you on the higher time frames why this was a little bit tricky of a trade to take, but that's why I sized down, split the risk between two positions, and was willing to give it time. So when I saw it breaking through the 50 EMA here for the third time, you see the first one was here at 430, again here at 545, tries to come through here at 730, but it can't. It retests this trend line and then moves lower through it for the third time. That's where I really got interested because I saw enough resistance on top with the reaction point from here overnight to the changeover into the London session here at 3:45 in the morning. Using the RSI and price action to draw this trend line makes it a really strong trend line. To me, the least consistent lines that you can draw on your chart are going to be diagonal. But if you're using an RSI and the reaction points from the RSI to then match on price action, that's at least giving you more confidence that that's more solid of a trend line. Either way, the most significant levels that we can ever draw are going to be horizontal levels. I love to trade after a horizontal level is broken. I look for an entry on a retest of that. Those are my favorite trades. But here, coming down, testing that line for the third time, I'm looking at this to come through the 50 EMA as it did. When it does that, I want to see it next get to the 200 EMA, which is right here, the white line, and then the target is going to be the dark blue 800 EMA down here. So when I measured this, my stop loss right here at the most recent lower high from overnight would be about 25 pips. My take profit, we're looking at about 50 pips. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense. This is a good risk reward setup that I'm willing to put some risk into and let it go and see what we can get overnight and then into today, into Friday. So let's play forward here and you'll see how it plays out. Once I took the position, it chopped its way around for 3-4 hours. It really didn't move much yesterday at all. And I anticipated that. I was willing to be patient with it. The reason why you can anticipate that is because the TDI is falling towards the 50 value. Anytime the yellow market sentiment line gets near the 50 value, we consider that choppy conditions. We call it reset. It's coming into reset. So as it's in reset, you can't expect too much movement out of it. But overnight, once we get into the Asian session and we retest that significant level, same price level that it hit off this trend line right here, it's like 1.396. Once we retested that, it was game over. Now I'm sleeping as that's happening. This is in the Asian session. I'm not awake. I'm trusting my stop loss, trusting my method, because again, this isn't D2 because we don't have divergence, but everything about the entry aligns with the testing that I've done for the D2. So it's very, very close to a D2 entry, using the same idea to create the risk. Then I woke up at about 6 a.m. this morning, checked it on my phone, and we were sitting here at the 800 EMA. Now, you remember my exit was 139.05, 139.08. So that's right around here. You can see it with my crosshair, right near the 800 EMA. The only thing that I don't love about my exit there is that I didn't leave a piece on, like I said to you before, because my original target was to see it come lower than where I got out. That would have given me the 2R. Because I closed it here, because the 800 came up, my risk reward was only 1.5R when I got out of the trade, which isn't as ideal as I'd like it to be. So one of the criticisms I'm giving myself on this trade is that if I'm going to close some here, it makes sense because of the 800 EMA. We know it could bounce there and not go lower, but I should have locked the stop and left some of the trade on, not just been up in profit right when I woke up and I'm happy to be in profit, take the trade. That's focusing too much on the money, honestly. So I need to just do better to say, wait a minute, I graded this trade. I was patient with it while it was red. Why don't I be patient with it while it's going green? That's the best question, because look what happens as the day goes on. I left all this money out on the table. It's a huge move for a Friday. So from my entry, it's now 137 pips lower, which is 5.4R, almost 5.5R, which is an amazing move on a Friday. Either way, I'm happy with the win, but the big takeaway and why I'm sharing it with you is because you can see the precision in the entry signal, how I read the risk, how I knew where my first target was going to be, and now you can see what could I do better. Trust my method. My method, if you watch my other trade videos, you know that I always close at R multiple, lock the stop loss, and let it continue to fall if it's going to. And if not, get stopped in profit or get out as it's turning up towards that stop loss in profit. But either way, to just get full out here when I still have a few hours left to trade into the end of the day here on Friday is just focusing too much on the money, me focusing too much on the money, not on the process that I should be following. So there's the lesson from this trade on GBP USD. Let's go into another important lesson. Felipe is one of the guys coming to our Miami event. I did an interview with him maybe 2 weeks ago on the YouTube channel, maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. He hit me up this morning because he and a few of the guys that he works closely with were looking for short ideas today on USD CHF. Now, the first thing, going back to what I just told you on GU, see how this yellow market sentiment line is rising towards the 50 value, which is the dotted line here? That's called reset. That's telling you something can change. Here, when he's looking for shorts, I like the idea off the 50 EMA for this to come lower. But what I told him to do is you got to zoom out, especially on a Friday. With this TDI rising, I want to see what else is going on. If we go back into Wednesday night here into Thursday, notice the bullish divergence it creates. If you line that black line up right there, here's first reaction point, second reaction point. See how price is falling? The level that this divergence is created at is the 0.9082-ish zone. That price zone is very significant on Thursday because it's tested here, it bounces. Thursday evening, it bounces again. Overnight Thursday into Friday in the Asian session, it bounces again. Friday now in the morning in the London session, it bounces again off the significant level. Even before he got short, it bounced again as we start the New York session and go into the 7 a.m. hour, New York time. So for him to go short before this horizontal level is broken, remember what I just said about GBP USD or about any significant trend line? Horizontal levels are the strongest ones. So to trade this after you have, to trade this before you have a break and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounces off that price level, I think you have to be more patient to just say, let me wait for this level to be broken, and then I'll get in short when it retests the level for another move lower. That's the proper approach when trading horizontal significant price levels. So that was the lesson on USD CHF. Here, I'm pulling up my DM on Instagram. This is my buddy Dave. We just had our first coaching call last night. I just sent him a photo of this GBP trade that I'm going to show you here in a second. And I said, remember I showed you the shift candle on GBP CHF? And he said, it's amazing how when you stick and follow the rules, the entries are there. I showed this to him last night on our coaching call. This was at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock my time. I told him that we were looking for this to continue to move lower. We saw our 8 and 21 cross. TDI is falling lower. Price is moving lower all week. EMAs are short biased. This should continue lower into the evening and into tomorrow. That's what we looked at. And now look at this, 73 pips with a 17 pip stop loss. This idea here fed my short bias on GBP USD. It made me feel confident once I saw this present that I could hold the GU trade that I was already in. So just another idea here, following the A1 system. We've talked about this in yesterday's video. I showed you a bunch of A1 entries already this week. Here on the higher time frame though, on the 1 hour. So we talked about this, Dave and I, because he's looking to swing trade while he's still working his job. He wants to be able to not be looking at the 15-minute chart. It's too fast. He'd rather step back to the 1 hour. So I was showing him examples of how this presents. And right there, as we're doing our coaching call, one of those entries presents. So that's just interesting. I wanted to show you guys that. I want to flip from GCHF to GCAD. This is another interesting trade that we can look at. This 3 candle formation breaks out solid. Austin Mendoza, one of Felipe's friends, one of the newer guys in ASFX, I would say, just recently in the last couple of months, he was looking at this trade, called it out in the group chat. I know a lot of guys were also watching this as well, but you can see with this 3 candle formation, it breaks for a new low of day. TDI is in the sell zone, so we're looking for shorts. It's been moving lower since we had this entry back here on Wednesday. So you're looking for shorts on Wednesday. Look at the TDI, hold the sell zone even all day on Thursday. Still looking for shorts on Thursday. You could be looking for shorts overnight, all based on the TDI and the direction price is moving. And the EMAs. EMAs are also short biased, so everything is feeding the short ideas. And then today, to come in and see this move, what is this? A 20 pip stop, 19 pip stop. It moves 150 pips on a Friday. That's amazing. So here, again, feeding the GBP short bias, aligning with my GBP idea, but just taking advantage of that bearish movement on a different currency pair. So again, another A1 formation on the week. Something that I was looking at this morning that I guess is also important to talk about, the trades we don't take, right? Why we need to avoid trades. This morning, I'm looking at Euro NZD. I'm seeing this thing. Okay, I see lower highs. I see higher lows. So I'm seeing it coil here, right? Even going back into yesterday, you're seeing this pennant form. And we know when we see a pennant, we can never trust the first breakout of the pennant. So even if this breaks short, I'm not going to jump in it because we're still in the Asian range. I'd rather trade the retest if we're going to get that move lower. So I'm patient. I'm watching it. It breaks the pennant for the first time here. You don't jump in short there. Why? Because of what I just said. Wait for the retest. As it comes back up, that's its true move. And what does it do the rest of the day? Takes off and moves higher. Even to right now, just closing for a new high a day 15 minutes ago. So when you're trading pennant formations, please be careful. Again, diagonal trend lines are not as consistent as horizontal levels. These diagonal pennant lines are not consistent because if they were, you could have been short on this breakout here and it would have moved lower. But now, if you were to just see price action, if you could see it in the future, now look at it. Now it never broke out if you were to draw it this way, right? But in the moment as it's presenting, this is what we see. So again, amateurs get stuck in trading formations like this. I'm hoping that after you watch my videos, you don't get stuck in formations like this. And another thing, it's in the Asian range. So that's another thing to keep you hesitant to jump in yet. We want to see it break that range first. And also, it's a swapping TDI. We talked about this again in yesterday's video. I'm giving you guys a lot of ASFX value, a lot of what we teach in our course. This TDI in the buy zone, swapping into the sell zone, is not as clean as something like this on GCAD, where it's been under the 50 value for 3 days. You see what I'm saying? It's just about what could be better. Too many of you guys are jumping in bad trades. That doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It just means you're taking too many trades. Look for perfect setups like this where you can find a short idea on Wednesday, maybe nothing super clean on Thursday, and a huge rip on a Friday following the same bias. Don't try to force yourself into a trade like this on Euro NZD with a swapping TDI in the Asian range on a Friday. It's built to fake you out when it's set up like that. So that's the Forex side of things. In other news, stocks closed red today, slightly. SPY closed down, actually. Remember yesterday we were talking about how it just closed for a new high of day, or a new all-time high, excuse me. It pulled back to the 8 EMA today. So nothing crazy, but not another bullish day, not another new high of day. In other news, commodities kind of quiet, but down. Oil is down about 2% on the day. Silver and gold both not moving much. Crypto's alive. Bitcoin's up almost 6%. Ripple, you guys are probably holding Ripple with me, I would hope, is up about 12.5% today, which is solid. I mean, if we look at this on the weekly chart, nothing says to get out of this trade, right? If you're holding Ripple like I am from 20 cents, 15 cents, nothing is saying to get out of this trade. It's at $1.50 right now. We're fine. So that's the recap for the week. Like I said, I want to know what you guys think of the little vlog style thing. I want to know if you want those other videos where I'm talking about the things I find interesting on Twitter, the articles that I think you guys need to know about, me giving my take on that. Would you want that on this channel, or would you want it on a separate Austin Silver channel? Just comment below, give me 2 sentences, let me know what you think, and I hope that this video brought you value. If it did, hit the thumbs up button. That would really be appreciated by me and our team. And have a good weekend. It's Friday. Enjoy yourself. I'm already excited for Monday since I caught this trade today, and now it's like I'm ready to go after being sick for 4 days. But I'm patient. I'm going to do some back testing this weekend and come in Monday ready to roll. Have a good weekend, everybody. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you Monday morning.